Good morning. This is Mukesh Gupta and I represent Welfare Security. Today we will be talking about the thumb rules. Thumb rules are very helpful in that day-to-day life because every time we are not going to sit on the computer and doing the Excel calculation. So today we will be discussing about the thumb rules. So this is the rule number one. This is the rule of 15. Rule of 15 is what? If you keep on investing 15,000 rupees per month for 15 years, and if that generate return of 15% in a in a 15-year time, you will make 1 crore rupee. Yeah, this is right. This will be 1 crore. You just need to systematically, in a disciplined way, need to keep on investing 15,000 rupees per month. So basically, you need to just avoid the instant gratification, which everybody is grappling with. In a today, instant gratification, basically, you go for the you use a credit card, you go for the first mobile, any new mobile launch, Netflix, everything. So if you can consistently do it, you can make a crore. And uh, if you can continue it for 30 years, this this 1 crore will become 10 crore. Yeah, that is right. This is it. If you see on the my screen, this figure will become 10 crore 51 lakh to be precise. And if you see in this 10 crore, you have contributed just 54 lakh. The next rule is 50-30-20 rule. This is the fundamental rule. What is this rule? Is 50% you keep the money for the needs, 30% is for the wants, and 20% is the saving. So needs include household expenses, child school, tuition fees, loan, EMI, etc., which you cannot compromise. Basically, for day-to-day needs, you need this. Wants can be like weekend dinners, vacation, shopping, brands, and 20% in any case you need to save to create secured future. Saving is necessary for achieving short and long term goals. So every time when you are spending money, you need to keep in mind this 50, 30, and 20 rule. And the rule of 70 is the basically the inflation. If you know, do you know that in rule of 70, if the inflation is 5.5%, then your money value will half in 13 years. Today, if you are holding a 1 lakh rupee and then going inflation is 5.5%, then over a period of 13 years, it will just half. The value will be just 50,000 rupees. So this become a very problemsome for the pensioner. Once they retire, they just calculate on the basis of suppose I have got 1 crore rupee, and if I am able to generate 10% of the return, so I will be getting 10 lakh per annum. But what they don't consider is the inflation because inflation will keep on compounding. If they are not able to beat the inflation, then that will kill. And then after 5 years or 10 years, they will see that they are not able to meet their household expenses within that 10 lakh, even if they are able to generate 10% kind of return. And as everyone knows, the rate of interest are coming down. So we need to keep in mind at any cost, we have to beat the inflation. The life insurance rule. The thumb rule is the total life cover should be equal to 20 times of annual income. So if your age is 100 and correct, no, basically if your age is, your annual income is 1 lakh rupee, they need to just multiply it. And how we calculated this life cover, basically how to calculate. There is a simple thumb rule. Your life coverage should include all the expenses which the dependent would be requiring, plus whatever goals you have. Suppose you have a goals for your children education, your children marriage. So you need to have a coverage of that. So basically, if you just calculate it backward, so how they have arrived at this figure, suppose your income is 6 lakh rupee per annum. So 20 time of that will become 1 crore 20 lakh. So on 1 crore 20 lakh, if you invest at the rate of 6%, this figure of work out to be around 50 to 60,000 rupees, which is your current expenses. So this is how this thumb rule works. In the equity allocation, the thumb rule is 100 minus 8 is the allocation towards the equity. If your age is 30, you deduct it from the 100, and 70% will be the allocation in the equity. And as you grow older, so you keep on cut down your equity exposure as you reach towards the retirement age. So consistently, your equity allocation will keep on happening. So you have more predictability of the return in your sunset years. Emergency rule. The emergency rule is at least three time of monthly income should be set aside for the emergency. You can keep it in the saving account. You can put it in the fixed deposit. It should be readily available. And managing liquidity is very, very important. Actually, if basically when you need money, you need money. You cannot wait. Then you will have to do a distress sale. I have seen people selling cars and houses at a very discounted rate. And the quantum of emergency fund also depend upon the nature of the bill. Suppose you are in the government servant or your business is in the FMCG. So if you're a government servant, so there is no job security, you have enough job security. If you are in an established business, then your emergency fund requirement may be lower. But if you have a seasonal business, then it may increase to 3 to 6 months also. And you need to have a 40% debt service ratio. All debt should not never exceed 40% of the total income. And if you have ever applied for the housing loan, any other kind of loan, even the bank also insists that your EMI should not exceed the 50% of the total income. So one should avoid falling into a debt trap. Then comes the rule of 72, 114, and 114 and 144. These are the simple rule. Basically, whatever rate of return you are getting, you just divide that, and you will come out the figure with how much time it will take in doubling and quadrupling and quadrupling in the amount. So the 72, if you divide, suppose you are getting a return of 6%, if you divide this, your money will be double over a period of 12 years. In 114, again you divide with the same figure, and 144 again you get. So you will come to know how much time it will take in figuring double, triple, and quadruple. So this is the summary of the all the rules. Just to summarize it, the first was the 15, 15, 15. If you invest 15,000 per month for 15 years, and if you are able to generate 15% kind of return, you can become crorepati. You will have 1 crore. If you can continue the same for 30 years, so this 1 crore will become 30 crore or 10 crore. That is the power of compounding. The second is the life insurance. Your total life cover should be whatever annual income you have, just multiply with the 20 times. That is the your annual life coverage. For equity allocation, you deduct your current age from the 100, and that is your equity allocation. As you grow older, you can keep on cutting down on the equity side. This rule of 72, 114, 144 is how much time it will take in doubling, tripling, and quadrupling your return. The rule of 50, 30, 28, 50% is the income need to be spent on the needs, 30% wants, and rest 20% should be saved in any case. Rule of 70 is you just divide the inflation rate with the 70, and your money value will half in those years. Emergency rule say that you need to have three time of monthly income as an emergency in the liquid fund or saving account or fixed deposit. And in any case, your debt never exceeds 40%. That's all for today. Thank you very much.